What's up YouTube, it's the Big Kahuna back again with another video, and I would like to give a shout out to Jamal Drake and on to today's video. So let's talk about free to play and indie games. First of all, and I know everybody knows this by now, Warframe has come out for the XB1. Now when it was on the PlayStation 4, there was a lot of Xbox fanboys that, you know, called the game shit. Most of these people who called it shit didn't even own a PlayStation 4. But, you know, since it was on the PlayStation 4 and not on the XB1, they was like, oh, that game looks like trash, it's horrible, and all that other stuff. Now, myself personally, I had a PS4 and I did have Warframe on the system. Now my personal opinion is the game was trash to me. Well, let me put it this way, it wasn't that bad, but it wasn't good enough for me to go ahead and re-download it onto the XB1 and play it. I didn't like the game that much. It was just so-so. So I wouldn't call it trash, but I wouldn't call it something that was great either. But that being said, there was a whole bunch of fanboys on the Microsoft side that was just putting that game down because they didn't have a PlayStation. So they was just like, oh, that game looks like trash, nobody's gonna want that. And I don't know exactly who these people were who said this, but I'm pretty sure some of these people are now playing this on the XB1. Also, free-to-play games are not bad. I know a lot, well, in my opinion, free-to-play games aren't that bad. A lot of people don't like them. Personally, I like them. They're alright. Of course, in the free-to-play game, you get most of the game for free, but then there's a lot of other stuff in there that you might need, excuse me, or want, and you have to pay for it. And you have a choice. You either pay for it or you don't pay for it. That simple. When I had the PS4, I had DC Universe, and pretty much you go ahead, create your character, use the powers you want to use, and you fly through the city, run through the city, or do whatever you're going to do, and, you know, rank up and get more powers or more abilities and stuff like that. But they did have the Green Lantern, which is one of my favorite characters, and the only way you was getting those powers, or the ring, or whatever you want to call it, is you had to buy it. So of course I did that because I wanted to be a Green Lantern, not just look like the Green Lantern, but actually have the powers of the Green Lantern. So I did that. But so anyway, free-to-play games aren't that bad. Killer Instinct is a free-to-play game. You get one character. The only thing I didn't like about that is they kept switching the character. I thought you was going to get Jago, and that was the character that you was going to, you know, stick with. Then the next thing you know, Microsoft was switching the characters up, so I didn't like that part. So, but you could buy the whole game, buy the extra characters or whatever. Now, moving on to the indie games. People, or should I say Sony fanboys, and even some of the Sony fans get a little mixed up with when Microsoft guy says, we don't give a shit about indies. Who cares about indies? It has nothing to do with not caring about indies. There's nothing wrong with indies. But, and I'm pretty sure you've heard this many and many a times before, nobody goes out to spend $400, $500 on a console for indies. You just don't do that. When we was all doing research before these consoles came out, seeing their specs, what they could do, and the games that they were going to provide, nobody said, let me see how many indies is coming out. You was looking at AAA titles, and that was all you was worried about. Now, the whole indie thing, that's, you know, icing on the cake, but it's not something that's going to be a deal breaker. If Microsoft had no indies, I wouldn't give a shit less. But anyway, as I always say, fanboys don't love their favorite system, they just hate yours. Peace out.